you wanna be somebody, if you wanna go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Micah Joseph back with another review, and today I'm going to be talking about a movie that I watched last night. It's definitely one of my top 5 favorites. Right, you guys, so this is one of my favorite movies of all time because of the legendary Whoopi Goldberg, actresses like Lauryn Hill, Tanya Blunt, Maggie Smith is in it. Like, this movie has so many people in it that were the tastemakers of the time and also are legendary now. So you could even catch people that were getting their start to their career out in the movie. Monica Calhoun, who we all know as Ebony from The Players Club. Jennifer Love Hewitt was actually one of the students in the class, as well as Whoopi Goldberg's daughter. So the movie starts out with Whoopi Goldberg, who we know as Dolores Van Cartier from the first film. She's a Las Vegas headliner. She was a lounge singer, and she was dating, in the first film, she was dating a drug lord. I think he ran the hotel that she was working for. And so she's seen him murder someone, and then she ran away and hid with the nuns. That was pretty much the premise of the first film. Now this film takes a look at an inner city school that some of the nuns from that same convent were working at St. Francis Academy in San Francisco. Basically, it's like an inner city school that has a lack of resources and that's predominantly populated by minorities and a low income area. You kind of get a feel for the essence of what the movie is about, right? Like, it's kind of giving you Dangerous Minds meets To Serve With Love. I mean, there's so many movies that have the same kind of storyline build out. You know, there's always a teacher that goes into help inner city students become all that they can be by just being an inspiration. But this one is special to me because of the music in it and the time frame in which it came to me. This movie came out in the 90s, so I was pretty much a kid sitting in front of the TV, you know, humming and singing along and pushing the VHS in and rewinding it. So, you know, throwback times. Like, this movie is definitely one of my favorites. So the movie starts out with Whoopi Goldberg performing in her lounge, you know, as she does, and she's giving this performance, and Jennifer Lewis is one of the other backup singers too. I love Jennifer Lewis. So as the nuns come and see Dolores because they want help, they need help. They have this music class that they're missing a teacher for. But she reluctantly agrees because they, you know, kind of guilt tripped her into doing it. Because, you know, they hit her in the first movie, so, you know, it's just kind of like payback. But when she comes to the school, like, she kind of shakes everything up. So when she first gets there, the principal, you know, he's welcoming her with open arms, and she goes to the class for the first day. Now, when she meets the students for the first day, they're kind of introduced to her in a weird way. So basically, she goes to the class, and they're all, you know, cold beans and Kyle Legres, and there's just chaos going on. There's paper, you know, flying across the room, and like people, you know, just people, you know, acting crazy and wild, like they always do when the substitute teacher is there or when no teacher is there. And she kind of like nails on the chalkboard. Everybody's like, ah, you know, like, and so she introduces herself, and they're kind of like, you know, standoffish or whatnot. She's doing roll call, and Lauryn Hill's character, whose name is Rita, her attitude was terrible in this movie, by the way. She basically tells Sister Mary Clarence that this course that they're taking is a bird course because they don't have a teacher, they just gotta show up and they pass. Sister Mary Clarence is like, what? You know, that's not gonna fly.
That's not gonna fly.
What happens is Sister Mary Clarence goes to the principal and the superintendent for money. She wants to get books and things for, you know, the students, and they claim that they're out of money. But this is kind of the turning point in the film where she kind of takes matters into her own hands and thinks like, what am I gonna do with these kids? What am I gonna do with them? She comes back the next day with a determination to, you know, be a light to these kids and try to really do some work with them. When she comes back, they play a prank on her. She gets stuck in the chair, the rolling chair by glue. They put glue on her seat. I never noticed and paid attention, but it was Rita that put the glue on the seat. Drop down in the comments and tell me if you knew it was Rita that put the glue on the seat. They got her good, and so she comes back to the class. This time, she's playing no games. Take your hats off, take the glasses off. Ain't no sun in here. I know you're gonna be combing your hair before school. Like, she was really gathering these kids. Like, she was getting them together, y'all. And so basically, Rita was like, I ain't gotta take this. Like, anybody else with me? And everybody's like, basically like, then I got to stay in this class. I can't fail this class. I need this class to graduate, blah, blah, blah. Whatever excuse they had at that time. Whoopi Goldberg said, "Little lonely out on that limb, Miss Watson." Rita left the class. She was pretty much upset. She, had that inner, she was going through the inner dilemma. And honestly, it's crazy because I relate to her in this instance where sometimes you kind of get lost in a moment and you are not processing things the way in which you should. At this moment in time, Rita is just, all attitude. She's not really trying to hear what Sister Mary Clarence is talking about. This day, Mary Clarence starts to teach, and she teaches them this line: if you want to be somebody and you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. One of the students starts off, if you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. Hey, and then the whole class just joined in like, wait a minute, I know I can sing, but y'all ain't telling me I can sing. This is a music class. But she said, I know what I'm finna do with y'all. I know how y'all gonna get through this class. I'm gonna turn y'all into a choir. She turned them into a choir despite their reluctance. One of the funny parts of the movie is as they're going into the new music room, she kind of, is basically, going around the room doing popcorn, like, you sing Mary Had a Little Lamb, you sing Mary Had a Little Lamb. First of all, can we talk about how weak and whack Mary Had a Little Lamb, pieces for the snow, is everywhere the Mary had the lamb with you to go, boom, yeah, like, y'all did nothing. Let's put that out there. It was overhyped. Once Whoopi Goldberg decides to turn these students into a choir, they have their very first performance. They sing "Oh Happy Day" for the school, just the school and faculty, students. They kill it. This is one of the famous parts of the movie. And you hit the high note. I can't do it. They kind of really solidified them as a choir, as a group, and that they could, excel in this area. Rita, who really loves to sing, her mom, played by the legendary Shirley Ralph, is not having it. I mean, she is not having it. She does not want her daughter to end up like her dad, singing his shoulda, coulda, wouldas. So Rita and her attitude and Tanya Blunt's character are sitting at the piano. They're singing His Eyes on the Sparrow. This is one of my favorite moments of the film. It just brings back memories, you know what I mean? Me and my mom used to sing this song all the time when I was a kid. This part of the film is just so amazing because it kind of shows you where Rita's heart is and that she really does want to sing and she really loves it, and you can just hear the passion in her voice and see the passion in her eyes when she's opening her mouth. As we all know, Lauryn Hill is a beast. One of the other nuns comes in and catches Rita and Tanya Blunt's character. I cannot for the life of me remember her character's name. She catches them at the piano and she's listening to them kill His Eyes on the Sparrow. And she approaches Rita like, I know you want to sing, please, why aren't you in a choir? Like, you have a beautiful voice. And Rita tells her, look at this community, like, I might want to sing, but it's not gonna happen. We're not living in a land of opportunity. And this kind of ties back to the story of like the underprivileged youth and being in a urban area with not a lot of opportunities. This movie kind of speaks to opening that doorway for, that passion to thrive. As an educator, I know that some students in underprivileged areas kind of, if they don't come from a household where a parent fortifies their child and pours into their child and lets them know that they can do whatever they want to do, despite the odds, they just gotta keep fighting and do it. They just gonna, believe that they can. And that is the position that Rita is in. She's in that position where she wants to sing, but she feels like she's not gonna be able to sing because of her circumstance. The nun talks to Sister Mary Clarence and tells her to talk to Rita. She has this conversation with Rita, gives her a book, tells her to read it, and basically she was telling her, if you wake up in the morning and you can't think of anything but singing, you're supposed to be a singer, girl. And then she told her the ice to convey for a good living, and don't roll your eyes at me. The ice capades, yeah. Rita, fighting her pride, she comes back to the choir. She comes back to the choir, but her mom's not having it. I mean, the choir and the competition are out. Rita's in her room just, fill us with the light, fill us with the light. Skipping all around the song, by the way. Give me the tape recorder and the music. Her mom was not having it. So they have a fundraiser. They're getting ready for this competition. They were getting ready for the choir competition because they found out that the school was closing. They found that the school was closing from basically the teachers knew, the nuns knew already. Sister Mary Clarence knew already. That's kind of why they were pushing the students to just, you know, go out with a bang. Like, do what they can to, you know, inspire these students. The students find out because Frank K, Hey Ho, and his boy Sketch were waiting outside the door, and basically they were, you know, overheard the nuns and the principal talking, and Mr. Crisp talking about closing the school. Everybody's kind of going for broke. Like, if they closing us, like, why not go out with a bang? Mr. Crisp, the superintendent of the schools, who's actually trying to close the school down, they find out that Sister Mary Clarence is actually Dolores Cartier, and she's, you know, the Las Vegas lounge singer, headliner, and so they're trying to stop the students. So they go to this competition where the students are. While they're preparing for this concert, the principal kind of has a change of heart due to Maggie Smith's character and their bond and their relationship that they have, their personal relationship that they have. She kind of, you know, quells the storm and gets him to allow the students to perform because they were gonna, you know, pull the students out of the competition. So they go through with it, and they have this amazing performance of Joyful Joyful at the end. Like, everybody knows this rendition of Joyful Joyful. At the end of the film, they end up winning the competition, and Rita and her mom have a heart-to-heart. And Rita's mom comes over to her and pours her heart out into her daughter, telling her how beautiful she sounds, how proud of her she is. And this kind of resonates with me because sometimes your parents have to see you through your lenses. Like, they have to see your passion and that spark for it. Like, so once her mom saw her on that stage and kill it, her mom kind of came around. So that was kind of a good thing. And also, this led to the school putting funding into that area, and the students kind of got that enriched experience of traveling to perform and seeing some of the world that they haven't seen, and also just that belief that they can do it once they put their mind to it. And so that's why this is one of my favorite movies of all time. The score, the storyline, and also the actors. Great casting, great score. It's a great film overall. You can watch that. You can watch Sister Act 1 and 2 right now. It's on Disney Plus. So go check that out.